Hey YouTubers, I'm back with another review on some trains. Okay, today on this review episode, we have a Canadian National SD70I and a BNSF, formerly Santa Fe Warbonet SD75I. I'm doing a review on these models because I want to, and because I haven't done a review on these engines yet. You guys that have probably seen my channel recently probably say, oh, when did you get those? I didn't get these recently. I've had these for a couple of years, just like most of my other engines, but I never did a review on them. But I did videos on them previously. If you look back, you'll see them running, pulling some good trains. Let's get into the review. Athearn Genesis. Well, where do I start? Couplers. Couplers are an issue because they're not the ones with the metal springs, so I don't think those are too good. The ones on the BNSF are, well, this one is anyway. Details. I think they have superb detail, very crisp, full in-cab interiors, highly detailed trucks. I put all the details on there myself. See-through fans. And they're pretty good runners when they're not being temperamental. Same thing with the BNSF unit. Going kind of fast because I don't have that much memory on my card and I don't want to delete any more on it. So yeah. Here's the other side. Yeah, and they're pretty good pullers. I mean, superb detail, authentic paint schemes. Oh, by the way, these are the first generation of these units. I got them when they first came out. These are not. You know, these are the, like, when they just released them. These are when I got them. So first gen Athearn Genesis SD70 and SD75I. The bad. These engines are pretty dainty. For example, you can see that the fan screen is missing. And by the way, when I got this unit, this was brand new. If you look right there, you can see that the plastic shell is warped. Like it bows up. If you guys can see that. It bows up on both sides. Like, that's not normal. That's not normal. It's not supposed to be bowed like that. Nor is the fan housing supposed to be bending up like that. That happened like as soon as I took it out of the box. I don't know how it happened, but that wasn't even glued down, and the whole housing just came out. Another thing is the front railings. Cheap plastic. I don't like them. I don't like them. They're very dainty, easily broken. This unit, when I put the railings on it, as you can see, they don't stay glued in. But this one hasn't gotten broken because I'm extra careful with it. The grain wheat bulbs that are in them, I tried to put ditch lights on this unit, and just by picking up the bulb shattered in my fingertips. Yeah, wasn't even squeezing that hard. I do have a pair of spares though in the box over here, which is good. Another downside is on certain types of track, they have a tendency, the front wheel has a tendency to pop off. And once that front wheel pops off, then they all go. So yeah, I've had a few occasions where I've had to catch this thing. Because sometimes they have that coasting drive in them, they just go. So that's a disadvantage. And I think there could be weight. I mean, the weight is good, but it's not solid enough. It's not consistently placed properly throughout the frame. Maybe the newer models are. I don't know, because I haven't bought a newer model yet. The SD70I though is about the same weight as the SD75, but it's a little bit more heavier. Oh, that's Marcy right there. She's going in my room. Other than that, they're good models, but I don't like the railings. I wish Athearn kept the original metal railings like they had on their blue boxes, and they just carried them over to their Genesis series, because they're trying to save money. See, where they get you at is the components inside. That's where you pay your money at. You're paying for the technological advancements with the drive and the frame. because they use all this computer software to design them. That's what you're paying for. You're not paying for, you know, the metal, the plastic railings or anything like that. They put like the cheapest plastic on there. Like, seriously, it's, you know, you would get a lot more for your money if they would put metal railings on them and metal details on them. A lot more. Like the Athearn blue boxes and MTH units. They have metal railings and parts on them. But other than that, I like these engines. I like them. This is my other BNSF unit I have. I have a Jeep 9, what is it, a Jeep 9U in BNSF Heritage paint. So I have 2 BNSF units. I have about maybe 5 or 6, maybe 10 Santa Fe units in my collection, but only 2 of them are BNSF. So yeah. But other than that, they're great engines. But I think they should do. They need to redo some of their stuff on them. Metal railings for one thing. Make sure everything's glued down, and not to mention, what's with the, make sure that the shells are made properly, because I got this thing brand spanking new. This was back in, what, I think it was 2000 or 2001 when I got this thing. Pulled it out of the box and it was like that. I mean, you can see the bow right there. You can see how it bows. That's not normal on an SD75I. That's not normal. You know, I guess they were still working things out with the injection molding, or however they make these shells. I think it's injection molding, but they need to work that out. They need to work that out. But on this unit, as you guys can see, that doesn't have that problem. So, but these units can be temperamental. I'm riding on Kato track. I mean, I got a couple bumps and everything, but even if they're going slow, like if they're going like 15 miles an hour, the front wheels will still come off. So I don't know what they need to do about those wheels, but I think they need to re-gauge those wheels, or make the profile of them so that they won't jump so easily. But they run great. Now they're being temperamental. There we go. You know, they got a smooth drive. The CN unit is faster. That's why it's spinning a little. It is faster than the BNSF unit. It is faster of the two, so that's one of 3 CN units in my collection. I have 2 Jeep 9s, and then I have that, and then I have 3 Canadian Pacific units. That's my CP Rail SD45 Athearn blue box. It's got the Canadian flag and the American flag logo on there. That was custom painted by someone, don't know who. And then I got an SD40-2 snoot nose, and then I got an FP7 for the Canadian Pacific. So yeah, 3 CPs and 5 CNs, because I have a CN Cal Calf set. You can see that in my video also. Those are Athearn blue boxes, and the FP7 is an Atlas. But I think they need to remake these models with metal handrails. Because what people have to do, they have to go out and buy the brass ones or make their own. I mean, if you have the talent for it and you like doing it, okay, I understand you. But if you don't really have the talent to make handrails and you have to go out and buy them, I think it's extra money that doesn't need to be spent. I think it should already be put on the model automatically. That's my opinion. I like Athearn Genesis, but the railings on these things, I just don't like them. I just don't like them. I don't. Even the Proto 2000 railings are heavier duty than these here. I mean, these are a little bit dainty. Oh, by the way, once they get bent, if they're in a box for so long and they're in a certain way, once the railings are bent, they're like that for good. I mean, you could try to heat them up, but I don't think you would want to do that, because then you'd melt the railing. But yeah, other than that, great models, but there's certain things that need to be worked out. Now, if they already worked them out, that's great. That's great if they already worked them out, because I haven't had the time to buy a new one of these yet. But what I've been seeing online is that they still haven't learned some things. I mean, they still haven't learned some things. I wish they would bring the blue box line back, or incorporate the metal railings into their Genesis series and the Ready to Roll series, because those railings are just, they're adorable. But anyway, I like the models, glad I have them. My mom and dad got me this one. Actually, my mom and dad got me both. This was a Christmas present, that was a Christmas present, so that's pretty cool. But I like the models. I wouldn't want any other model like this. I mean, if they came out with a better version, or somebody else came out with one better, I'd buy it and then compare the two with another review just to show you. But yeah, this is the first generation or first production run of these units when they first came out. Like when Athearn Genesis first released the SD75I and the SD70I, these are the models they have when they first came out. So they probably did some changes on them. They still got the cool radial trucks, or the self-steering trucks on them. Still got that. I like that. I like that. I might have to adapt those to some of my custom-made units. Might have to do that. But that's another story altogether. But they have great detail. They do come with metal grab irons, but you have to put those on there. But other than that, not bad. Oh yeah, you got to be careful with the horns, because they will pop off too. They're made out of the same plastic as the railings, so they're very dainty. In Athearn's Ready to Roll line, I believe they use metal horns and metal grab irons, which is good. Yes, use the metal grab irons, use the metal horns, and the metal sunshades, but put metal railings on too. If you're gonna have metal on there, do the whole shebang, you know. Don't half-step, right? I'm not dissing Athearn. I like Athearn. Like 80% of my collection is Athearn Blue Box. But I only have 2 Athearn Genesis units, and then I have an Athearn Ready to Roll. No, 3 Athearn Genesis units. No, 4. Because I have these 2. I think the F59PHI. No, the F59PHI is an RTR. Or is it a Genesis? I'm not even sure, so don't grill me for that. And then I have a CF7 for the Maryland and Pennsylvania, my only CF7 in my collection. But anyway, y'all, enjoy, peace, because I'm out of time. See ya.